Tech News Weekly is sponsored by GoDaddy. Get a .com domain name for only $2.49 by using offer code QUEENS at checkout. Hey everybody, welcome to Tech News Weekly. I'm Andrew Zarin. Of course, I'm joined by John, as I am each and every week. How you doing, John?
Hey Andrew, what's up?
Nothing much. Enjoying this beautiful weather here in New York City. It is nice and cool. It's under 70 degrees. The studio is at a very doable temperature.
Doable?
Doable. I could do with it. I could deal with it. I don't know. It's 84 degrees. It's actually not that cool in here. I'm actually starting to get very uncomfortable. We're joined by Josh Coleman, as we are almost every week. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing excellent, Andrew. And John, it's wonderful to be here
Why
again.
is this cam so far away?
What? It's closer, actually, than usual.
It's fine. You know, one thing at a time, John. One
And he
step
still
at a
has
time.
that blown out look.
One step at a time.
I have the desk completed now. Does that make any better? No?
You do. After 8 months, you got your desk.
8 months, yes.
I'm so happy about that.
So happy.
I'm sorry, but your team lost last night.
My team. No, I'm not a Ravens fan. I am a
You're a
Washington Redskins fan.
Oh, I thought you were a huge Ravens fan.
No, I'm not. Baltimore is. I don't have any ties to Baltimore.
I could have swore you're a Ravens
Do you like these
fan.
jerseys? Are funny. It looks like I'm wearing a collared shirt, doesn't it?
Yes, you look like a priest.
Very formal. Very formal.
We have a lot to talk about today, so why don't we get right into it? Actually, you can follow Josh on Twitter at Culmination. Of course, John is at Suncast on Twitter. I'm Andrew Zarian on Twitter. You can follow us. Let's go head first into this because a lot to talk about. Microsoft to acquire Nokia. They are taking over their mobile and mobile and services, or did they call hardware and services? Devices and services. There you go. They're taking over devices and services, which is pretty much the entire company. It's a $7 billion deal. $2.18 billion for the patents, $5 billion for the business. Good idea, bad idea. What do you guys think? This is fascinating because these are major, major shifts in Microsoft that we've seen over the last couple of weeks. Actually, a couple of months, they've been really changing the entire structure of that company. What do you make of this, John?
Good thing you needed to, because what they were doing is not working. Whatever happened with Microsoft, they royally screwed up with Windows 8. And I know I'm going to piss somebody off by saying that I'm always begging on Microsoft and Windows 8. But you know what? Windows 8 was not very good, quite honestly. I mean, it's fine for tablets and stuff, but as an actual desktop user interface, it just doesn't work. So I think they definitely needed to have some sort of a shift. But as far as Nokia goes, you know, I'm just not sure that's really going to work out for them. I'm just really not, because they weren't able to accomplish, I think, what they wanted to do with Nokia as a partner. But now that they bought them, I just don't see that being something that they're going to be able to get away with. Because here's the way I look at it is, I'm using BlackBerry as the past example for these sort of mass changes in the smartphone world. BlackBerry was not able to capitalize on it and present itself in a way that would garner a secured third spot in the smartphone world. And so now you have BlackBerry and Nokia and Windows Phone going at it for the third place. I just don't think that this is really going to work out for them, because BlackBerry couldn't do it. Not only that, but you also have Windows tablets. These tablets that they have out there just don't cut through to consumers yet.
Yeah, and I think there's a whole issue with the whole tablet thing. Here's my opinion on this. This was Microsoft purchasing Nokia. Microsoft did not need Nokia. Nokia needs Microsoft.
Yes.
Nokia being acquired by Microsoft is what's the story here. And there are many reasons. I mean, one could say that, you know, they just couldn't continue to live on in their current version. Whatever they were doing, it was just not working, and they needed a Microsoft to kind of absorb them.
But neither does
and
the Microsoft Devices division, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to play devil's advocate.
They put out doesn't work either.
Well,
RT was an absolute failure.
I think RT
Pro hasn't been any better.
No, RT was in my opinion, RT is a giant mistake, because they first of all, we could go back to the Windows 8 thing. There are a number of issues here. One, this is an operating system that was pushed out a little too early, And the reason why RT was so confusing to people is because they still had the desktop interface in RT. And they needed to have it because a lot of the settings and services were not in the new UI, including Office, which is a major program for them. So I understand what happened to RT, but Josh, what do you make of this deal? I know you've had a Windows Phone. I know you've had Windows 8. You've loved it. You've hated it. Where do you see this going?
Well, I think where it all starts though is that back in the day, Nokia decided just to make Windows phones, and I think they would be a different company if they would have made Google phones or Android phones as well.
They would have meant nothing if they made Android phones, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Because if you look at a company like Samsung, they came and started making Android phones. Look what they've become.
I mean, here's the fascinating thing with Nokia. Internationally, they've been number one selling phones. I mean,
Yes.
prior to the smartphone revolution, let's take that out. And they still sell, I mean, in emerging markets.
Right.
The problem is they've never been able to penetrate the U.S. market. For whatever reason, they don't have a brand loyalty in this country. They never have. This is a new thing for them. I think teaming up with a Microsoft could help them, kind of sell more phones. It's a different marketplace.
It is that is very true. What you say there, a very different marketplace for. But isn't it weird? I mean, it's also great that I'm seeing an American company buying a European company. Usually, it's the other way around for some reason.
I welcome this.
Yeah.
I think anything to help Microsoft sell devices, and I've been pushing towards this concept that Microsoft says, screw you OEMs. You have not done a good job with what we want you to do. You haven't made the hardware we want you to make, so we're going to get our own hardware company to make the stuff that we want. I think a major problem with Windows 8, and I've said this on What the Tech 1,000 times, is the fact that it's so touch-centric. And I'm not talking about touching the screen. I'm talking about even with the trackpad, the gesturing. It's very touch-centric in that sense where you're not going to have a great experience on a crappy laptop. I mean, that's the truth. If
so basically,
trackpad,
you want them to follow the Apple model, is what you're saying.
Yes.
There you go. That's what Andrew wants Microsoft to be Apple. You heard
But
it
wait a
here
minute. But why not? Right now, they're making the Surface. They're making their own tablet.
Yeah.
They're making their own console, media device. Why? How difficult would it be for them to say, okay, you know what? We're going to have our own Surface phone. We're going to have our Surface laptop. We're going to have our entire Surface line. And this is the flagship. If you guys want to continue making these devices, go ahead. But we're setting the bar here. You have to come close.
That would be awesome.
I mean, John, wouldn't you welcome that? Wouldn't you welcome a Microsoft branded laptop?
From what I've seen of their past devices, no.
Well, I mean, the Surface is a good device. You can't say that the Surface is not a good device.
I don't know about that. I'm just very skeptical about how all this is actually going to play out. I'm in some cases for this because I really do think they need some sort of change because what they did with Windows 8, I don't think panned out very well for them. So I'm very happy to see them shift and change and restructure themselves because I'm hoping that'll actually make Microsoft better able to execute what it is that they're trying to execute, which I don't think they executed Windows 8 very well.
I also think another thing that they're going to be able to generate a lot of income is Aja.
Oh, is that phone? Yeah.
It's Nokia's emerging market phone. So it's like a
budget phone.
Yeah, it's like a budget phone, but it's not
5C.
I don't know what the model is. They're taking ownership in that too. So with that comes along the patents. It comes along these phones where they could actually, if they brought Aja here to the States, they could actually do something with that as well. I think in the long run, this is a great deal. For Microsoft, they're going to be able to have their own hardware. They're going to be able to, kind of fine-tune it the way they want it to fine-tune it. They know Nokia makes really good hardware. They're bringing on board, I think they said 32,000 people are going to be transferred across Microsoft, including 4,700 people in Finland. Wow. And 18,000 employees directly involved with the product manufacturing.
Wow.
And that's something that Microsoft doesn't have experience with. They're not a manufacturing company.
So now that Microsoft owns them, we can call them Nokia and not Nokia.
Isn't it Nokia?
Yeah, that's the American way to say it.
No, it's Nokia and Nokia.
Nokia, yeah.
I hate
we'll get
that.
rid of that. It's just going to be Nokia. It's an American company now.
But, John, I mean, it's interesting that this is all happening now. They have the Xbox coming out. They have Windows 8.1 coming out. A new Surface is obviously going to come out. Next generation Windows phones are going to be coming out. Ballmer is stepping down. This is a, major shakeup in the company with thousands of events happening.
Yeah.
Do you think it was planned this way, or do you think it just happened to fall?
I think it was mostly planned this way. I mean, I think they always had an idea of, if it came down to it, we can still buy Nokia. And I think it got to this place where Nokia was pretty much dead in the water. They were a sinking ship, much like BlackBerry is. And so really the only way to save what they've done with Nokia was to actually buy them.
To buy them. And $5 billion is not, it's not going to hurt them in the long run.
No, that's
How
like
did the
nothing
Washington
for
Post
them.
sell for $250 million? What a deal he got.
Who?
The guy from Amazon.
Oh, Jeff Bezos, yeah.
$250 million, and then Nokia goes for $5 billion, or just almost $7 billion. Really?
It's interesting.
Patents.
Yeah, patents.
That's true.
Balmer
confirms. John, go into the Ballmer CEO story, actually, because you've been following this.
Yeah, I've been following it a little bit. We didn't have a show last week, so we didn't talk about this. But Steve Ballmer actually announced that he's going to be stepping down within the next year from Microsoft, which opens up the floor to a new CEO at Microsoft. Now, we've kind of looked at who's going to be out there up for the job. Are they going to go with somebody that's already a part of Microsoft, or are they going to look for somebody that's outside of Microsoft? And in a way, they're saying that Stephen Elop, the CEO of Nokia right now, having been part of the Microsoft culture for many years, would also make possibly an insider and outsider type of CEO. So Ballmer's saying that he's definitely on the short list for somebody that they're considering to be the next CEO of Microsoft.
So do you think this is necessarily a good thing? Because I'll tell you why. Not because it's someone internal. I think they need to stick to the culture of Microsoft and they need to hire within, because it's going to be very difficult for someone to come in from the outside and say, your ideas suck, this is what I want to do. I don't think that's the direction they want to go in. They already have the thing in motion. They want someone that's just going to steer it. But he has not had a good track record from Nokia. He stepped down as CEO from Nokia. Nokia has not done well in over a decade. So pretty much you're hiring, if they are going to choose him, you're going to have a guy from a failing company run Microsoft. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing for them.
No, I'm completely in agreement with you. Go ahead, Colm.
Terrible.
You think
I
it's
agree
bad?
with you as well. Yeah, this is why would I want someone who hasn't just blown everyone's mind?
I mean, a
We
lot of
need
people
somebody
are
with some
excited
innovation.
because it's a known name. It's a guy that knows how to run a company, but he knows how to run a company, but not
he doesn't
that
have
well.
the track record. That's what it all comes down to, is that yes, he's able to do it. The problem is, how well is he doing it? And in my opinion, and quite honestly, I just don't see him being that great of a CEO. He can run it, but he's just another one of these corporate guys that thinks, all right, we're going to lay out this strategy, we're going to stick to it, and that's the way it is. He's not able to adapt to what's going on out there very well. It's the same boat as BlackBerry. And I hate to say that, but I mean, that's why I'm saying I think Microsoft needs somebody that's going to be on the outside to be able to say that, because some of the things that they've been doing is just dumb. This is something that Paul Thurrott has talked about on What to Tech before, where they're having to go through and do certain things multiple times. So because nobody talks to each other. So the guys that are doing Windows 8 are separate from the people that are doing Windows Phone 8. And because these guys never talk to each other. So they're having to do the workload twice and do it in completely different ways.
Yeah.
So I think having somebody that can come from the outside and say that you guys are stupid for doing it this way. Why don't you guys talk together, integrate everything together so that everything better fits together?
Yeah, but do you think there is a free agent CEO somewhere that would be able to run a company like Microsoft? Because this is not the traditional company in the sense that they're struggling. They're not struggling at all. They're making billions of dollars in revenue. They're actually doing quite well. So to have the CEO come in and say, well, this isn't working, that's not working, and have major shakeups, that's not going to happen for them, nor should it happen. You know, people, I've been reading a lot of the blogs and a lot of the journalists are saying, you know, this is the time that Microsoft gets a Steve Jobs type leader. We need someone that's going to be able to change this company. And I'm thinking, no, why would you? Why would you change? The only thing that's suffering right now for Microsoft is user confidence. That is where they are suffering.
Right.
And you know what? That's an easy fix. You know how you fix it? By putting out something that the user wants to get. They're not suffering in enterprise. They're not suffering in cloud computing. They're not suffering in services. Office is doing phenomenal. The only problem that they have right now is user confidence because of Windows 8. You're not going to have a Steve Jobs come in and say, well, this isn't working. Let's start all over again. Forget about enterprise. We need to make a tablet. It's not there. That's not where they make money.
Yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying about the failed execution of Windows 8. I think that was pretty much in the mind of consumers and even power users, Windows 8 failed in execution. I think the idea was there, and I think everybody can agree that the concept of having these two worlds is great, because we see this a lot on phones where people want to use them for business, but they also want to use them for personal. And I think they were trying to take a concept kind of like that with the desktop operating system, but they didn't really execute it very well.
I also think a lot of the problem is that the software is still not matured, and it's not at. You also have different visions for this company. You know, they've kind of backtracked, which is good, and they've added the start button back, and they're kind of letting you boot into desktop rather than just, you know, go into Metro, whatever. A lot of this stuff they're kind of changing, which is going to make it a little bit easier for the desktop user. But in my opinion, RT should have been Metro alone. That's it. Forget about desktop. Windows 8.
I don't understand why they couldn't just do that.
Windows 8, you had the option for Metro, but the primary setup is going to be desktop. So if you have one of these convertible laptops, you could go into Metro or stay in desktop. Or if you have one of these screens that come off and become the tablet, when you dock it, you're in desktop. When you take it out, you're in Metro. I still think that's going to happen for them. I still think that will be their vision with, 8.2 or whatever they call it. But for the time being, you went from Windows 7 to this, and it's totally different. I think a lot of people freaked out. And I don't blame them. It's a tough thing for them, but whoever comes in has to change it. That has to be one of the main initiatives, is change the image of the company. Somebody also said in the chat room that, and it's amazing, Rush actually said it. It's amazing to me that this company makes the Xbox, which is a young, hip, demo, and they still struggle with a cool factor.
Yep. People don't really even think, when you think Xbox, you just think Xbox. You never think Microsoft Xbox.
But that's interesting. This is the company that makes the Xbox. This is a company that has their own or portion that makes their own games. Halo, which is one of the top games, is an exclusive thing for the Xbox. And they still struggle with the cool factor. I think they have to link all this up. And, Windows 8 was them trying to merge these things, but it wasn't done in the right way.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the execution pretty much failed of it.
Yeah.
Like I said, the idea is there. They just got to do it properly. It's like cooking. I mean, you can cook something, but if you don't execute it properly, it doesn't come out tasting good.
Too much cilantro, never a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. You hate cilantro.
Fine, I'm going to be the hater of cilantro.
You hate
today.
cilantro. You're telling me you hate cilantro.
Sure.
Ugh.
Get out of here, cilantro.
Apple confirms September 10th will be the iPhone event. The next iPhone, and we're guessing iPad as well, will be unveiled on September 10th, as hinted at the Apple delivered invite that you see. It has all these different colors on there. It looks like Easter. They're going with this Easter thing.
Looks like Easter.
It does.
That's how you're putting it over.
It looks like
it's
Easter.
The Apple Easter show.
The Apple Easter event. Are you guys excited for the Apple event? By the way, Josh is going to be covering it. I'm going to be here. Suncast is going to be here. I think Michael Mann also will be here.
Oh, great. That guy?
Yeah.
Such an Apple fanboy. You know what? I'm so excited because it's my favorite day when all the Android people go, we've had that feature for 5 years. And then they hate everything that Apple says and blah, blah, blah. It's my favorite day. It really is. Like all those YouTube reviewers. I can't wait for all the new case reviews coming out.
By the way, you do have an Android phone.
Yes, I do. Where is it? Here it is.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that stupidly big product.
And you hate it.
I hate it.
Oh my god.
No, I'm not throwing it. You know what? It's great though because I have 2 lines, so whatever comes out, I'm gonna get that and replace this phone. So I'll.
What are you looking forward to? Anything you're looking forward to?
I mean, we have a story. I don't know if you want me to skip ahead, but if that fingerprint sensor that Suncast put in this, if that really does happen, that would probably be really incredible because that eliminates the security factor.
John, what does this thing do?
This has kind of been rumored for a while now. That the fact the home button is now also going to be a fingerprint scanner. We're not exactly sure how all that's going to work together, but they also saw some leaked images today that have a silver ring around the home button.
Now we're going to have a whole epidemic of people chopping off each other's fingers to get access to their phones. Hope they're happy. What was the leaked image, John?
They had a silver ring around the home button to indicate that it's a fingerprint scanner.
Interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a movable part. So that's the other thing. It looks like it's like, you know how the home button, a lot of people have complained to me over the years that they've taken their phone in because it sticks or whatever.
Yeah.
But it looks like if they switch it with this, they're going to eliminate that. It'll be, what do they call it? Capacitive?
Touch capacitive, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
I mean, is it necessary?
No.
What?
Fingerprint
I think
scanner?
it is.
Absolutely not.
I think it is.
You did. Why?
Why?
Because of iPhone is the #1 stolen electronic device in the world.
Okay.
So if this cuts down on it, because hopefully people are not doing what you're saying and cutting off people's fingers, but hopefully this would be like there's no point to steal one because you have to have the fingerprint.
I don't know if it's going to prevent theft from happening. I still think these idiot thieves are going to still steal these phones. I really don't see it making a difference. But you know what I'm looking forward to for this event? I have an iPad 2. I didn't get the 3. I didn't get the 4. It wasn't enough of a change for me. The Retina, okay, fine, but not big enough for me. I'm looking forward to a new iPad.
Me too.
I like the 10-inch iPad. I don't need a 7-inch iPad. I don't need an 8-inch iPad. I like the big one. From all the leaked case images, it's thinner bezel. They shrunk it down also, so it's not gigantic because they cut down on the bezel size. This thing looks cool. I want it.
Day one.
I'm gonna order it.
I want the mini one if it's Retina.
Well, John, would you rather have the mini or the regular?
Mini.
Why is that?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Wait, before he says something, I'm surprised you don't want the mini too, because I think all 3 of us are desktop laptop guys. Am I wrong?
I am.
Yeah. So why would you need an iPad that big? All right, John, go ahead.
That's kind of my reason too. Both my parents have iPads and I've used them occasionally, and in my opinion, sometimes they're just a little bit too big to carry around with you. And I think a 7-inch tablet, much like my Kindle Fire that I have here, is pretty much around the same size. And I think that's a really nice size to have. It's bigger than your smartphone, but it's not too big. It's not the size of an ultra portable laptop. And so I think it fills that need where you want something somewhere in between your smartphone, but smaller than a laptop.
See, I don't know. For me, I have a 7-inch Nexus, and I feel that it's too small for me.
You have a 7-inch Nexus.
I do.
What do you do? What do you do on it? You play the update the app game on that?
I just update apps over and over again.
Oh, what a terrible product. All right.
I just update apps all day.
He just takes it out and goes, oh, look at this. I have like 1 million apps to update. And then he just puts it down because what else are you going to do on an Android tablet? Terrible.
Such an ass.
By the way, we've seen several companies link out reports that they've blocked out certain weeks in the end of September for vacations so that people can't take it. We've seen Apple say that certain employees can't take vacation between like September 20th and the 28th. We've seen Verizon say that. I think we've seen Sprint and also T-Mobile also confirm that around those dates, nobody can take vacations.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming out, and they're going to have a mad rush because I'm just curious what the pricing on the 5C is going to be. Are we looking at $100 phone?
Wow.
I mean, if it is $100, you know what would be fascinating? If they took this phone, they're like, you know what, screw you. We're going to unsubsidize $299 to get the phone. I think that'll be humongous.
What do you mean? It's just a straight up, you buy the phone $299?
Yeah, you could either get it subsidized at $100, or if you want it unsubsidized, $299.
Oh, wow. That is huge. That's really going. But they would be going against the 199 Nexus 4 unsubsidized, wouldn't they?
Is the Nexus 4 199 unsubsidized?
I think
Yes.
yes. So they have to compete with that.
Yeah, but I don't think the Nexus 4 is available on Verizon. It's only GSM.
I think you're right. Yeah,
So,
that is true.
this whole subsidy thing, I was looking into this morning because I
Oh,
was
you mean
looking
the
at
giant con that we have to do?
yeah, it's such a con, and I'll tell you why. I was looking at the price for that Galaxy 3, which is our next story. It's like $700 unsubsidized. Okay, why is it that much money when you could buy an iPad with 3G, with 4G? I'm sorry, with LTE for far less. Can someone explain to me on the scam that exists with these phones? They're just forcing
Everything is a
people.
scam. Everybody just wants to make money. So either way, you're screwed. I mean, there's just no good way unless you actually have the money for it. You're just screwed.
I guess so.
Will I see a Mac Pro at this event? That's what I want to know because I want that thing.
All right, so this is what I want. My wish list. My
here we
Apple
go.
wish list.
All right, let's go, Tim Cook. What are you showing me?
I want I don't care about the iPhone. I have no interest in it.
Okay.
I want an iPad, a
Yep.
new one. I also want a new MacBook Pro.
What? Retina.
Retina MacBook Pro with Haswell. That's what I want.
No
That's it.
Mac Pro. You don't care about the black
I
trash
don't
can.
care about the black trash can. It means nothing to me.
Oh.
I am curious on what the price is going to be. You guys want to do that? You want to take bets on what the price is going to be?
Yes.
We've already done this.
Do it. Let's do it again. John, what's your
Do it.
price?
I don't know. I don't care.
Pick one.
$200.
No, come on. Pick a realistic price.
$21.99.
$21.99. Josh, you pick yours.
I'm going with Alex, $17.99.
$17.99. I'm going with $1, Bob. No, $19.99. Starting at $19.99. It's going to be cheaper than the current
So
model.
we're all $200 apart.
We're all $200 apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Winner
We probably
gets.
just got it all right because we probably did the lowest model, middle model, and the top model.
Yeah, so we all got it right. So we all win. Did you guys see the KitKat announcement? Google announced the next version of Android KitKat,
Great.
replacing key lime pie.
So now we're going to have gimmick desserts
Yeah.
for all the names of a terrible operating system.
Now this is something very interesting. If you actually look at this, Google is spelling Kit Kat without a space in it, whereas the actual Kit Kat has a space between Kit and Cat.
Does it have a hyphen as well?
No,
Interesting.
just
Have you guys
KitKat.
been to KitKat.com when the amazing what they did there?
No.
They basically did the candy bar and made it like a tech site. And they tell you like the aspect ratio of the candy bars. It's really cool. Cloud-based, eating it.
Why isn't it uploading?
It's
Yeah, why is
way
it-
over.
No, oh yeah, KitKat 4.4. Yeah, I'm looking at this.
Yeah.
Oh, let me
It's pretty great site.
let's load this. Hold on.
They have like the dimensions 4 fingers long. it's really edge to edge display.
There we go. Okay, so here's the website. When you scroll,
Yeah, if you go way down, there's specs
specs on the KitKat bar.
on the Kit Kat. It's really cool.
It's actually
Cloud-based.
well done.
I know. It's
So
great.
they're all in this.
Quite honestly, this whole marketing gimmick here doesn't really do anything for me. It's funny, it's silly, but
Do you wanna eat a
realistically,
Kit
it
Kat?
doesn't do anything for me.
Well, obviously, he doesn't like KitKats.
Do you not want to eat one? Because I want to eat one right now.
I do too.
But I don't want to use an Android phone.
I'll tell you, I can't. You know what? It might be brilliant. When is the last time you thought of a KitKat?
Probably 3-4 years ago.
3-4 years ago. I never think about KitKats. Now I want a KitKat.
I want one too. Do you want to use an Android phone?
No, I still don't want to use an Android phone. I just want to eat a KitKat.
There you go. So I guess it was
Good
a
deal
good
for
move
Nestle,
Google.
bad deal for Android.
I guess so. Again, this is not Android 5.0. There's been a long rumor that key lime pie was going to be Android 5.0. We're not ready for 5.0 yet. It's going to be Android 4.4, and they're licensing it. So I'm wondering if they're going to stick with these, candy bar names now rather than just key lime pie and regular desserts.
It's a stupid naming convention to begin with.
What would you like them to name it?
Dead rock stars.
Dead rock
I have
stars.
no idea.
Morrison.
I want
Yeah,
Van
that'll
Morrison, Kurt Cobain. Yeah, that'd be amazing. It's better than Cats. And now we're doing places in California. Great.
How about like really bad places in New York, like College Point, Queens?
Is that a real place?
Yes, it is.
Imaginary.
No, it's by the dumps. Okay. It's awful. Samsung announces the Galaxy Note 3. They had a big announcement here in New York City this week. They announced their new...
friend of the show, Rich Butler.
Rich Butler was there, yeah. 5.7-inch screen, 1080p video, 2.3 gigahertz Snapdragon.
Android, yay!
Yeah, that's the problem. The phone looks great. Too bad it doesn't run iOS.
Or actually, here's the thing. I'm seeing here for the notes. There's 2 CPUs.
Yeah, dude, the phone's incredible. The weirdest part to me, and since I have a Note 2 right here, the back of a Note 2, and I can slide this out of the case, is this like really cheap plastic. Now they've gone with like a textured, I guess almost like rubberized thing, but it's really like they can like twist it. They went cheaper.
I don't know. The specs look phenomenal. No. The specs look phenomenal.
Oh yeah, the insides are. It's an incredible phone. Me and John said.
The weirdest part of this announcement, the dumbest thing is that stupid smartwatch.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry to all the people that love this thing, and I'm just trying to understand.
You're being negative. We're too negative on this show. Stop being negative.
I'm a
the
realist
heel on this show.
I'm a realist.
You're the baby face.
I would never. First of all, I would never wear some gimmick watch like this. 300 by 300 display. 1.63-inch Super AMOLED screen. It does 720p video. You could shoot 10 seconds of Super 720.
It's so terrible.
10 seconds of 720p. Does 1.9. It's a 1.9 megapixel BSI sensor, autofocus lens.
Can I tell you that thing is that is the most ridiculous part of that watch is the fact that it has this camera on the side of the wristband.
It's running Android 4.3. And here is the great part of this. It could be all yours for $299.
Oh, and it only talks to Samsung devices.
It's $300.
Oh.
$300. I mean, that's insane, right? Am I the only one that finds that to be insanely expensive?
Yeah, because you can go get a fuel band for what is it, $130 now?
But why do I need this? Why do I need to have everything that's on my phone? Like, my phone is in my hand all the time. I don't need it on my wrist, too.
Yeah, I don't understand this and that Kickstarter Pebble watch everyone was raving about. They were like, oh, you get notification stuff on there, but why would I want to look at a cheap screen on my wrist when I can just pull out an amazing screen in my hand? I don't get it. I like, which I'm not wearing right now, the Nike Fuel Band because I can use it as a watch and I can pretend that I care about my health. So it's a great gimmick for me. I don't need something on there that's going to be like, look at this fucking guy with this, excuse my language, with this giant stupid LCD on his wrist who looks like a fool. And then every time I hit something, it's going to say, which app do you want to open this with?
Awful.
The thing is that it's a smartwatch they try to make into a phone, but you can't really make something that small into a phone, so... It's just, and not only here's the part that really gets to me is the fact that it's supposed to have a 800 milliamp battery in there that's supposed to last you a whole day. Great. So now I have to charge both my smartphone and my smartwatch, and they both run out before the day's end.
By the way, Rush in our chat room says, serious question, what will the iWatch deliver differently? And I'm thinking nothing, really. The only hope that device has, too, is that the price might be a little reasonable. And I wouldn't say that this is a really dumb watch if it was $120.
Right.
For $120, you know what? I could kind of justify it as, oh, well, it's like an iPad. It's like an iPod. You have it on your wrist. You could take it and go. $120. $300 for this thing? No way. And I say the same thing.
Did say that they're going to sell it for $599 with the new Note. And by the way, this is what's really another thing that's really bizarre about this is that this is only compatible with Samsung Galaxy devices and only the devices that they announced yesterday. So you're limited to the Note 3 and the Galaxy Tabs that they just announced.
It's not going to go
All right,
well.
so you're gonna have a smart watch that's on your wrist, but then you're also gonna have this 10-inch tablet that goes along with it. That to me, just those two things don't go together.
No, it's poorly executed. I'm not a fan of it. I can't wait till Apple comes out with the same thing and puts it for the same price, and everybody's going to be crying and saying it's the greatest thing ever made.
Oh, I'll be at the driving the bus, son.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna be in charge of that group. But in all seriousness, would you think it was that dumb if it was $120? I don't think so. I'd be like, you know what, $120, it's a companion device. Okay.
Yeah, 300.
It's more reasonable, but
anytime you have to
wouldn't buy it
think
for
about a
120.
purchase. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, anytime you have to think about a purchase that's too expensive. 120, whatever. I'll buy that.
$300, no way.
No way.
John, going to
It's
a
like
story.
a $35 Chromecast. Everybody bought one, but does it do anything? Nope.
Exactly. You know what? Perfect example, John. Good for you. Good, perfect example. I bought that thing.
Oh, good for you, John. Yeah, buddy.
I bought that
Sorry, I'm being
thing,
mean.
and I have not used it since I put it in. Like it's connected to my TV, and it's like, and every time yesterday I was watching Eddie Murphy Delirium, okay? Delirious, sorry, his comedy special from like 25 years ago. My wife was watching it too. I could have put it on my TV. You know what? I wasn't going to. It's just I don't have a use for it. I don't know. John, go into a story.
So we were talking about how BlackBerry didn't do so well either with their execution of BlackBerry 10. But now the Wall Street Journal is saying that BlackBerry is looking to be wrapped up with a sale by the end of November. And this is very shocking because, I mean, we all knew that they were looking strategically to do something with the company, but we didn't realize they were thinking about just doing it so soon, within this year, by the end of this year. But the Wall Street Journal is saying that they are looking to be wrapped up with the sale, that they have a short list of potential buyers narrowed down, and that they hope to start the sales process soon and hopefully get this all done by the end of November.
Do you think it's going to be like a private equity group that kind of buys them, or are you seeing like a major company to come in and, take them over?
Honestly, I have absolutely no idea which way they're going to go with this. And I don't even know which way is going to be best for them. In some ways, I think private would be better, where they can, who's ever in control doesn't have to worry about a board or anything like that, so they can just do whatever it is that they want to do and hopefully get BlackBerry back on track.
It's actually sad what's happened to them, because I do think that the Z10 is a decent phone. Mm-hmm. I do. I think it's a good phone.
So are Nokia's Windows Phone devices, but you don't see either one of them doing very well in the market.
I think Nokia is doing much better than BlackBerry is right now.
I agree. Yeah.
I've seen a whole lot more, Windows phones out on the market than I have seen BlackBerries, but it's a sad thing because this company was on top of the game. They were the number one smartphone. They just were not able to evolve at a fast enough pace because they stuck to that weird 10-year plan that they had. And they literally stuck to that 10-year plan.
Yeah.
And, now it's a little too late. The market's matured. iPhone and Android control everything, and it's a far third for Windows Phone. They just... I don't think that they have a future in this.
Where they really went wrong was with their web browser. They didn't update that thing for years. And with Apple and the iPhone, they updated and made that web browser something to want. It didn't matter if you had a BlackBerry or not. You wanted the web browser from the iPhone.
I mean, I think I read
BlackBerry never updated it, so it's like, because back in 2007, 2008, the iPhone and the BlackBerry were pretty evenly matched. I mean, they weren't. The iPhone wasn't something exactly everything in a bag of chips, but it could hold its own against BlackBerry. But BlackBerry stayed stagnant. It didn't update its times for the technology, and it just the iPhone kind of just took off.
It's sad.
Yeah, the iPhone came out and all the other companies were like, oh my God, we better do something because the world is changing. And BlackBerry was like, oh, we have this cool little button here that you can like scroll around with and message, and they didn't care and they got left in the dust.
You know what's interesting about BlackBerry? You know, we talk about the change over the company and how they released the Z10 and the Q10, and these phones are pretty cool. They're still releasing an old BlackBerry. I think it's like the Bold, right?
Yeah, it's really big in the 60 plus market, I hear.
No, but they released another, what is it, BlackBerry 7?
Yeah.
John?
I think, is that the number?
The old operating system.
Yeah.
BlackBerry. They still released an old phone.
That was for, I think, underdeveloped nations, basically.
But why not just stick, but why not stick with what they're doing now?
Because it's too expensive for those nations.
Well, they're gonna
They
be
suffer
practically
from
giving
the
it
same
away
thing
for
that
free.
Microsoft is suffering from. In fact, they don't have that cool factor.
Yes, I agree.
I don't think they ever did, but I do think they had something that Android and iPhone can't get, and that's enterprise.
Yeah,
They had the fate of enterprise.
I remember like all the companies I worked for, like when I was in the corporate world, you would have you'd have to pay BlackBerry to have a mail server. And what was so great about it, it was really like you could get your messages super fast, and you had to pay them a monthly fee to have this server. And then slowly Apple got into enterprising, and it was, even though it's not as good, I have to say, as the old BlackBerry system, it was good enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
To kind of continue on with the news, Xbox One to get a processor boost ahead of the November 22nd launch. The device will
let's
now
talk
feature.
about that.
Okay.
Look, I talk over you again. Sorry.
You're a little excited, I know.
Get excited about
Calm
things that
down.
make me mad.
Go ahead.
All right,
Do you
here
have
it is.
Do you have a pill that you can give Colm?
No, I'm all out of pills. Sammy.
Sammy. Here's the thing, Andrew. We have talked about the date that it was coming out, and that's something that I want to focus on this story. Whatever, they boost up the processor, and they're insane. But how in the world did they that they're going to let the PlayStation come out before them? I think this is a disaster for them. I don't understand it.
I don't know how much this makes sense, but I think what they're going to do is go based on the sales of the PlayStation, and they're going to ship based on that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then what if PlayStation they just destroy their target or their estimate, and then they think, oh, we should do that too?
I think what they're going to end up doing, well, the estimate means nothing. At the end of the day, after the fourth quarter, when those earnings come out on the sales numbers, they're going to be neck and neck regardless.
You think?
I do. I think that initial number, it's going to be 50-50, as close to 50-50 as possible.
Wow.
But I do think Microsoft will play the game where while the PlayStation may not be a sellout, the Xbox will be a sellout instantly on that initial launch.
Yeah. I see it totally opposite to you.
No, and I'll tell you what, I'm not saying that they're going to sell more. I'm saying they are going to sell out.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because that,
So they're not
but
just
you tell me this. You tell me this. You don't know anything about the tech numbers. You don't get it. You hear in the news that the PlayStation went for sale. Nothing after that, and then you hear a week later the Xbox went on sale and it sold out within an hour. Gone. Every Xbox that was on the market is gone within the hour. The following week, guess what? All these people that were kind of sitting on the fence and go, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to get this thing. It's going to be months, and of course there's going to be a whole release saying that production they're not able to pump it out as fast, and it's going to be a total sellout, and you better get it when it's available. It's a perception thing, but end of the day, 50-50 split.
I still think they would have sold a ton more if they would have came out on the 5th, because everyone would have been like, "Oh my God, it's a new console, it's a new console." Now I think PlayStation's
Also,
going to get a lot
the
of those
games are coming out on the 5th.
Really?
I believe so.
That's just weird.
Yeah, no, there are Xbox One games coming out on the 5th. That's another way. Maybe they're going to be able to determine how many to put out based on how many games they sold.
Interesting. They
Yeah.
really don't want to lose money on this at all, it seems like.
Well, you know what? Good for them, because that Xbox 360 was a disaster.
Yeah.
They lost money till the end. Till now, they're still losing money because of the recalls.
Okay, I'm not mad now.
You don't care about the processor?
No, that's like what is it? 0.1 of an increase. I mean, I could do that right now to my CPU and overclock at 0.1, and it would do
I'm
nothing.
telling you, this holiday season, I'm gonna hemorrhage money. I'm losing so much. I got to get a new TV.
There goes my Christmas bonus.
There goes John's Christmas bonus.
You're gonna get both consoles, and what are you gonna play? The update the console game? That's gonna be your game.
I know somebody contacted me. They want to buy the consoles from me.
Oh, okay.
So I'm already making money off of that. But I am going to get an Xbox.
Yes.
I am going to get a PlayStation.
And you're gonna update
I need
them.
to get a new TV because God forbid I play this on my old TV.
Ugh.
I have to get an iPad.
Yep.
I need to get a new phone.
So now he's never going to get work done for a GFQ either.
Thousands of dollars going to waste.
TriCaster.
I have to get a
GFQ
TriCaster.
is doomed.
Yep.
All this stuff. I have to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm going to be out of a job.
John's
Anybody hiring?
Yeah, we're shutting the doors so I could go play my video games. Hey, by the way, HDMI 2.0 is announced. I know John put that in the notes.
I know.
Yes, he did.
It's going to support 4K. So a little quick thing. And
here's my question.
This is something that's been anticipated for quite a while now. Is that the fact is that HDMI it has its limits, and we've been kind of waiting for something that's going to be able to deliver something better. HDMI 2.0 is kind of a band-aid, I think, but I think there's other solutions out there that are as good or better.
really, like what?
There's a specification that they're talking about using just a basic Cat5 network cable, which I think makes a lot more sense because there's limitations with the length that you can run an HDMI cable that you don't have when you're running a Cat5 cable.
HDMI, it's fiber optic, right?
I don't think so.
It is.
No?
Yeah, I don't.
It's not
But
common.
here's my question. The one thing that I learned from the Chromecast is that HDMI does not power itself. Why don't they do that to HDMI like they did with USB?
HDMI does power itself.
Well, then why did I
No,
have
it
to
doesn't.
plug in?
No, there is powered HDMI devices.
Really? So
You're
then why
talking
would
about
they make,
MHL?
Yeah.
That's MHL, which is different than it's different than what HDMI is.
And isn't it the same form factor?
It might be the same form factor, but that doesn't make it HDMI.
Okay,
want power.
the Roku, for example. Okay, the Roku with the thumb drive. Do you have to power that thing?
I don't think so. I think that plugs into an MHL port,
Okay.
which your TV has to support.
Okay. All right.
Most TVs don't have MHL.
Okay. Interesting.
So what? We're not excited about this. This is a joke. We're
Yeah.
just being fooled into buying new cords
More
from
ne-
Monster for $300. Can't wait.
And
Are
so
they
you
gold?
can,
They have
so they
gold
can
tips?
support the 4K TVs out there that you can buy now for $55,000.
No, they're not 55,000. I saw one for $7,000.
Yeah, I saw one for $7,000.
And it's
I
crazy
also
how
didn't
quick
think
the
picture
price
was
dropped.
that great.
What? 4K?
Were you that impressed?
I was watching. I think I was watching like Japanese soccer on there. I'm not even making a joke. I literally think I was watching Japanese soccer, and it looked as good as everything else that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Like I wasn't blown away.
Exactly. It's not like when the first time I saw HD and I was like, oh my God, it looks incredible. And then I see this and I'm like, it almost looks like it's so good that it doesn't look like real life anymore. You know, like 1080p looks like
Avatar.
I see with my eye, and 4K is like too much that I don't see with my real eye.
Who needs upgrades? Too much upgrades. We don't need
Too
it.
much. It's out of here. I want that.
I know, John.
TV square again.
We'll go into our picks, but I know John is very upset over the new Yahoo image, the new Yahoo logo. Why do you hate it so much?
Because 1999 called and they want their bevel back.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys don't like it, huh?
I just
It's
don't get
too
it.
whimsical.
Yahoo has that look, that original Yahoo logo. Like, you know that if you see it, like you could see it written somewhere else. You know that's the Yahoo font. Now they've changed it to this. And first of all, they were going through an identity crisis. Every time I went to Yahoo every day, it was a different logo, and I was like, "This is a joke."
That was a gimmick that they were doing. They were showing all the submitted logos for 30 days,
Oh,
leading up to the unveiling of whatever the crap this is.
I think I made this when I was like 19 in design class.
I don't understand why they did a bevel on it. They just left it flat. That would have looked so much better. I kid you not. Every other design that they've ever put up in the 30 days leading up to this logo unveiling looked better than this. This would look halfway decent if it was just flat.
Let me go to Yahoo's
I don't
website.
understand why they need to do the bevel thing on it. I really don't.
What did they do with the exclamation point? They say it moves.
Yeah,
Dances.
Great. It moves.
it dances. Hold on. Let's go to Yahoo's website and make it dance.
Oh God.
Hold on. Sorry, I can't.
They have Tumblr. That's what everyone always says when you talk about Yahoo. They're like, oh, but they have Tumblr.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Watch it
It's
dance. Look.
Make a dance.
There
Oh,
you go.
that's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tim Tebow was cut, by the way. Nobody cares about Tebow.
No one cares.
Yeah. All right. Let's go into the picks of the week, guys. What do you guys think?
Sure.
Okay.
What was that, John?
I don't know.
You don't care.
Your dog is distracting.
I know. My dog is out of his mind. Go ahead, John. You go into your pick of the week.
All right, so you may have noticed a change at GFQ this past week. Not only did we move servers, but we've also implemented a new plugin called Pretty Link Pro. What this does is it generates those short URLs that you see, like Bitly or Tiny URL that you see on the internet all the time, or on Twitter and Facebook. So now we have our very own URL shortener, basically, courtesy of Pretty Link Pro. They have Pretty Link Lite and Pretty Link Pro. We're currently using the Pro version, which gives you a few more options, including using an alternate base URL. Because we have gfqnetwork.com, we wanted something still shorter than that for our short URL shortener. So we have gfq.co, which we use as our alternate base URL for the short URL. It's pretty cool. It has a ton of features. You can do 307 redirects. You can do bars at the top, so you can do branding. So if somebody clicks on one of your shortened links, it'll still say GFQ Network at the very top of it. You can do cloaking. If you have a lot of affiliates like Amazon or GoDaddy or some other affiliate, you can do short URLs for that. So right now we have gfq.co/Amazon, so that every time you go to Amazon, it has our affiliate code in there already for you. It's easy to remember. You don't have to remember what the affiliate code is, and it does tracking as well. So you can actually see how many times somebody has gone through and clicked your link. Not only the uniques, but you can see every time that somebody's done it, you'll see uniques and page hits. So you might have 66 people that have gone through it, but only 35 are unique.
Is this
you
a
can
free
do keyword
plugin?
replacement. It is free. The Lite version is free. It doesn't come with every single feature that the Pro version does. For example, the Pro version will get you keyword replacement. So let's say every time Amazon is on our website, I want to replace that with the affiliate link to Amazon. I could set that up so that every time the word Amazon is on our website, it'll be replaced with the link to our Amazon affiliate.
Wow.
Which is really
That's
cool.
Huge. Yeah.
And it's full featured. There's pretty much nothing more that you could ever want from a URL shortening service. You could do this on your own. The Pro version is only $37, which is not a whole lot. It's very decent for the amount of features that you get. I don't know if Andrew can pull it up on his end or not. You can kind of show some of the Pro options. You have reports, which is really cool, so you can see exactly what's going on with your website. Under options, the Pro options, you also have social networking. So you're going to have buttons that have your shortened URL in it. You can auto tweet, which is really cool. So every time we make a post, it'll send it out with that shortened URL automatically for you, which is really cool. You can automatically generate for every single new post that you do in WordPress. It's really cool. It's really full featured, and the Pro version is only $37, but you can get by just fine pretty much with the Lite version for free. That's prettylinkpro.com. It's a WordPress plugin.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I'm going to go next before this dog is driving me crazy. My pick of the week this week is a game that Josh told me I should not get and that it's going to be awful, but I got it anyway because I don't trust anything he says, and his word means nothing. And I have to tell you, it is awesome. It is Plants vs. Zombies 2. Phenomenal game.
Phenomenal.
It
Sorry.
is the best game ever made. Game of the year. Okay, Josh, go. Okay, so I'm going to tell you why I like it, and Josh will tell you why he does not like it. I like it because it's just like the other one. They've added a lot of these features, like now you could go into different worlds, and the game is a lot longer, it seems like, than it used to be. And you have to go back to stages and beat them again to kind of get all the stars. So they've kind of extended the life of this game rather than it being like, I could beat it in a day. The thing that Josh does not like is that they have in-game purchases now to kind of move forward. Josh feels that you need to buy it in order to move forward. I feel that you don't need to buy it to move forward, and I haven't spent a dime, and I'm playing it. Now, you go ahead and tell me why you hate it.
I don't like. You know what? It's the paying thing. I don't get upset about. It's the point of that. There's those special. I mean, is this a spoiler? There's like special moves where you can get at the bottom, where you can pinch zombies off your screen or swipe them away. Now you can use the in-game currency to get those, or then but you have very little, and then they cost a lot. So then they're basically there, but you can't get them unless you pay real money. It's sort of been like I wish that wasn't in the game, and more of the purchasing were things that were not affecting gameplay. Does that make sense? More,
but you don't need to use those things. You don't need to.
You don't need to, but they're pretty. It makes a huge point during the game when you go through about them, and shows you how awesome they are.
You don't have to. I've never used one.
You used it when you did the game because they make you use them.
No, they don't.
Well, where was I that I had to use them?
I don't know.
You haven't played as long as I then.
I'm at like the third. I'm in like the pirate stage.
Oh, you are past the.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
All right. Well, my pick is Plants vs. Zombies 2. It's available everywhere. iOS. Is it on Android yet or no?
No one knows.
It's on available on iOS. That's my pick. What's your pick?
My pick is something I picked up today.
What is
Here is the Charge Sync dock from Belkin. I went with the red because I like red, and I'm basically one of those guys, like I can't just deal with the cord sitting on my desk and then I have to plug in the phone and it's just sitting there and it doesn't look cool. This makes it look cooler because basically you take your little dock here, you pop it right on right there, and now this can now sit on my desk. I can see my notifications, which I have a ton of, and basically I can take calls, I can reply to things.
Does it come with the cord? Does it come with the cord?
All right, here's the thing that's a little weird. It comes with the cord, which is great, but it does not come with the little power brick that you need to plug in. So I'm thinking they want you to connect to your computer, but who connects their phone to their laptop anymore? That's like a disaster for just deleting everything off your phone. And so I had to get the little block again, but it sits there nice on the phone. It's very simple. I got my wife one about a month ago, and she's been using it. So I saw the benefits of how just pop it on a dock. So now I went and purchased one today. It's at $39.99. You can pick it up at the Apple Store or through the GFQ Amazon link.
Yes.
That would be the best option.
That would be a phenomenal option.
Yeah. I mean, because, you love this show and it's free, so you might as well. That's the best way to give back to the show. But yeah, I think if you're someone who's looking for a dock and you're going to stick with the iPhone 5, because it looks like the 5S is going to be a Lightning connector, so it looks like it'll work for that. Check it out.
Excellent. I do want to tell everybody you could help to support the network and support the show and keep us going by using our Amazon affiliate link. We have it on our website. If you're watching live, you can click on the side menu and it'll have a little Amazon button there. Or you could go to gfq.co/Amazon. That's gfq.co/Amazon. Go there now, and if you're going to make a purchase in a couple days, we'll still get the credit. I think it's like up to a week we get the credit, but we get a small percentage. I think anywhere from 4 to 7% of the sale we'll get. But it helps us out. I mean, after when the month is over, there's a significant amount of purchases used through that link. It's a huge help, and every time we need to do an upgrade or buy an HDMI cable,
or pay Suncast
Yep. In HDMI cables, we go through the Amazon link, so it helps us out. And I want to thank everybody that's been using it. Somebody purchased like $3,000 worth of stuff the other day, and we got credit for it, which is great.
It was me.
Unbelievable. No, I know it wasn't you.
Damn it.
The stuff that they were buying, it was not what you were putting.
Oh, really?
You buy, yeah.
Oh, you say I buy weird stuff? Is that what you're saying?
I know what you buy. I just
I
don't
don't
think
like
you were
that
going to
you know.
buy that.
I bought something the other day with it, and I was seeing if you would say anything about it.
Was it
But you-
stupid?
Yeah.
There were a couple dumb things that were bought. I don't know. Somebody ordered like a 5-cent something. I forgot what it was. It was like 5
No, that
cents.
wasn't it. Mine was something that you would have been like, "What are you doing buying this?"
I can't
But
tell who's buying what, so who
I
knows?
know that's the best part.
You can follow me on Twitter at Andrew Zarin. You can follow John at Suncast, and of course Josh at Culmination. Josh also does another show here on the GFK Network with Michael Manna called the T4 Show every
That's
Wednesday
right.
at 2 p.m.
Yeah, this week we were unable to do it, but we will be back next week.
Next week, you guys are back. Also, next week is the Apple event on the 10th on Tuesday. So we're going to be live at 12:30 East
back to back
on Tuesday. So it's going to be a very... No, you're doing Wednesday.
Oh, yeah,
Tuesday
that's right.
and Wednesday. It's going to be a very busy day. It'll be an exciting day. Maybe we'll take your phone calls afterwards. That's what we did last time, and we got calls from like all around the world. It's really cool. And that's it, guys. So we'll see you all next week. Good night, everybody.